Hey, welcome back to Rescued by Dragons, our Darkbrew Monster Vanguard campaign. You can learn more about us at rescuedbydragons.com. Please subscribe, like, comment, whatever. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right back into it. So last week, you guys successfully defeated the Hag Coven, which let me just go look at my notes here because that was pretty epic. Let me see. So yes, the hags were invisible, but they appeared at the end of your short rest. They opened up their turn by turning your two of your elks into rats. But fortunately, with Ula casting Bane and their hag's rolls going downhill from there, and Valmaya unable to roll anything lower than a 24, it seemed. No, I think she rolled a 23 once. Off her game on that one. You guys pretty much sliced and diced your way through those hags, and the battle was not as bad as you had anticipated or feared, but they did some damage with a couple of well-placed lightning blasts, but most part, you guys avoided most of the damage they could do. When you were moving them, you found some gold, and you found some magic items. Lucky found a potion of fire breath. Ula found a potion of water breathing. And after a long rest that included going to this episode, the scroll is a scroll of magic weapon. You cast the scroll, touch a magic weapon, and for 1 hour, that weapon becomes magical with a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. And I believe Winter has that. So, as you guys set off back to Darkbrew's Rest in the morning, Kelwyn receives a message via the Sending Stone that is paired with Henny.
Wait, I thought Oh, is this still a recap?
Still recap.
Okay.
Kelwyn received a message from Henny's Sending Stone telling them to proceed to Inglestone at once because her brother Hermit had been spotted there. And your guys' job was to go to Inglestone, track him down, and bring him back alive to Darkbrew's Rest, where they would be waiting for him along with Henny and Hermit's father, Ovin's father-in-law, Bruce Darkbrew. She says you can use the Darkbrew Estates in Inglestone as your home base. And back one thing. Another thing you guys looted from the Night Hag was a leather ball sewn with human skin.
Oh, yeah, the ball sack.
Yep. And using telepathy, Nicoya spoke to the soul trapped within inside it. And you learned it was a pirate named Tabit Payne. And in exchange for inhabiting one of your bodies, he will happily lead you to his hidden treasure on the southern coast near Elmwood. Nicoya declined, but you do have that on your persons too. So anyway, you guys approach the gates of Inglestone at near sunset. It is now late spring, so it is not as dark as it has been when you guys first started traveling, but it's still getting
savings.
Yeah, daylight savings. And as you get in, you realize it's at least an hour's walk to Darkbrew Estates, but surprisingly, as you enter the gates, there is a coach waiting for you. And the coach picks you up and brings you to Darkbrew Estates. So that's where we'll start. You guys get out of the coach, and you didn't spend a lot of time at Darkbrew Estates, and you were kind of like new to it, and everything was a whirlwind as you were being introduced to each other and learning about your new positions as members of the Darkbrew Monster Vanguard. but an older human gentleman who you saw before, but never really got a chance to interact with because Henny was there and met you and all that. An older human comes up to you and he greets and introduces himself as Gilson, and he is the caretaker. And he has, yes. Welcome. We've been expecting you. Your rooms are ready. Please follow me. Try not to scratch anything. And he leads you into Darkbrew Estates. Dinner has been prepared. You can have servants bring it up to you in your rooms. You can eat dinner in the dining room. It is up to you.
Let's eat together. You guys want to eat together? We can all sit and have dinner together, and we can talk about our travels and how much we all love each other. Doesn't that sound fun?
Is there alcohol?
It sounds so entertaining. And the old man just kind of shuffles off, like sighs.
Gilson's not invited to that, right?
Well, Gilson will be serving you.
Oh.
Well, in charge of the people serving you.
Do we
Poor Gilson
trust him?
hates his job.
Do we trust Gilson? I think he seems nice.
Do you?
Who is it?
Yeah.
He
You guys don't think he seems nice?
Yeah.
Just like a
I'm sure
butler?
he's fine.
He has a nice aura.
what? I don't know.
Interesting.
He's like Kelvin.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
So yeah, you guys have the option to go ahead and just go to dinner. You can go change and bathe. You have been out in the woods for going on 10 days now.
Definitely gonna
That sounds
Probably
great.
bathe.
Yep.
take some time. before dinner.
Gilson, does tell you that there are warm baths in your rooms ready for you.
Mm.
And you can tell Gilson would prefer you go bathe first.
Okay, so I'll get naked, guys.
We're doing that separately, right?
No.
I would
I
assume
had
we
a
have
shower,
our own
though,
room.
but I
in your
guess,
room, but,
you know. If you want to share a tub, I guess we can.
No.
Okay, so you guys go up. You see there are casual clothes, fashionable for the day, set out on your beds. There are hampers for your clothes to be cleaned and if you wish, have your armor mended and taken care of. So it's up to you if you want to put on the casual clothes or stay in your armor.
Cohen's probably gonna take his armor off and have it repaired and all of that, but I don't think he's gonna put on whatever's laid out. He's probably just gonna be in like basic,
Yeah.
Can you
traveling
describe
clothes.
the clothes? What kind of clothes are they?
They're not super fancy. They're nothing pretentious. They're very utilitarian. It's something like a not so much a merchant might wear, but a well-to-do craftsman. Durable pants, a nice shirt, rugged shirt. Nothing like probably the Carhartt of the day.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'll put that on and put my hair up in a messy bun and call it good.
Nice. Is Lucky's clothes black, or do they have a color?
They're like mostly earth tones.
Lucky's gonna stick with his own clothes.
All right.
Lucky's also like a black furred cat, right? So you're just
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Lucky's pretty much already clean because I've been cleaning myself all along.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, not a big fan of water in baths, so I'm good.
Okay, so every night from now on, Lucky, I'm going to need you to roll a d20 for hairball.
Oh my gosh, does that mean
Nice.
your tongue is spiky?
it's probably
I
like
guess so.
barbed.
There you go.
Sandpaper.
Okay, you don't need me to roll for hairball right now, do you?
No.
Okay. Is it like only if I get a 1 do I have a hairball?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens when I have a hairball other than having the hairball. What does that do to me?
I'll make it up as we go along.
Okay.
Which is pretty much what I've been doing since session 1. So
It is D&D.
It is D&D. Rule 0. Okay. So you guys are having dinner, and it is servants are coming and going. Food's pretty good. Not banquet, not fancy banquet fare, but definitely you're getting the, decent meals. You're being treated more like, guest workers than honored guests. It's nothing. The red carpet hasn't been rolled, but everyone is treating you with respect, and you have
Employee
noticed.
appreciation.
Everyone. Yes, it's employee appreciation. And some of the guards, a couple of the guards, Kelwyn, as you walk into the dining room, a couple of the guards actually salute you. Even though you technically don't outrank them, there's a measure of respect being shown to you guys. Your reputation definitely precedes you. So you are enjoying dinner, and now might be a good time to make a plan for how exactly you are going to find Hermit in the rather large city of Inglestone. It is the largest city in the Arid Valley.
Nicoya, did you have a question?
I just wanted to ask if Gilson was in the room with us, or if he's like going off and done his own thing.
He's coming and going, as are a couple other servants.
Okay, that's fine.
Other than that, it's just us. We aren't in like a busy
Correct.
restaurant or anything.
Correct. Yeah, the estate seems fairly quiet. You can tell with the master away, there's not a lot of business to attend to.
Winter, it's been a few days. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, it was
Winter. You, based on your level of exhaustion, Winter, this morning will be the first morning you've actually woken up feeling your old self again.
I feel like my old self again. Yeah, that was
Young and naive.
I don't know if you've ever been that exhausted, but I was not quite myself, was I?
You
Not really.
No.
You were moving about as fast as a rock slug. And
Sorry to have been a burden for everyone. I really tried my best. I guess I learned my lesson on that one, not to,
Oh, any of us could have
grab
made that
eyeballs.
mistake, grabbing the thing.
Really, the lesson should have been
At least you stabbed it.
Yeah, that.
Didn't really do us any good, though. I thought it would at least affect the hag somehow.
Who knows? At least she didn't have it to see through. She couldn't spy on us anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but no, I feel better.
It's good.
Thankfully.
It's good.
Welcome back.
Thanks, Lucky.
So we're here to
Pet Lucky on the head. Little Scrooge.
We're here to capture some dwarf. Not some dwarf, but Henny's brother.
Hermit.
Henny's brother, yeah.
Yeah.
Was
So
it
what do we
dead or
know about him
alive?
so far? Other than like where he would hang out, or I'm sorry, I interrupted somebody and I don't know who.
No, you're good.
I think he's pretty dumb. From what we've heard about him, he has to go get other people to do his dirty work for him because he doesn't have the brains to conjure a plan. So maybe we look for where the smarter criminals might hang out.
That's right.
He
He
did
hired
use the
those
name
two
on the
dwarves,
guest.
right?
Yeah, you did. I guess we could use that as a stepping stone.
I mean, I don't know if any of them are in jail.
Would he still have
Nicoya,
to
you like jails.
What? What do you mean like jails?
Maybe you could sneak into one like you did last time.
I don't think you know about that.
You guys don't know. Yeah,
Well,
point of order. Metagaming point
yeah.
of order. Nobody knows Nicoya did that.
Well, she's up to suspicious activities. Perhaps, that could come in use at some point to find this hermit guy. But
Is Henny in town?
No, Henny is at Darkbrew's Rest with
Okay.
Oven and her dad.
I mean, she
Is
could
that common
be.
knowledge?
Hmm.
Because maybe
Uh,
Nicoya could disguise herself as Henny since she has the many faces thing and ask around about her brother.
I feel like that might
like
be
it.
suspicious because someone might just tip off her brother if we ask the wrong person.
It's true.
Fair.
Well, he could also then come to us, be like, "Oh, she's staying at the estate or wherever we are," and then he'll send somebody to try and get her, and then we'll have somebody who can lead us back to him.
Well, he doesn't want to kill his
So
sister.
we're using his sister. We're using Nicoya posing as Henny to pose as bait for Helmet to hire an assassin after we ask around about him, and hopefully the information. Hopefully someone leaks the info back to him. Then he hires another
yes.
assassin.
Yes,
He doesn't want to kill his sister. He just wants to
there's
kill
nothing
Owen.
wrong with that plan.
That makes total sense.
Also, what Nicoya is saying, I don't think he wants to kill Henny. I think he just wants to kill Oven. Because Oven's the imposter to the family, the outsider, who made a good business decision and is showing up Helmet. Who just, what do we know about him?
Maybe-
He just kind of gambles and whores away all the family fortune. Something about that.
You don't
The
know
whorehouses.
that much about him, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean,
But Kellen, you have that talking stone thing. Maybe you can ask Kenny if he has any favorite hangouts in the city.
That's a good point. Why don't we keep discussing at the end of dinner? I'll use our one a day message to message her our top info question thing.
Got it.
So I mean,
We could start a bar brawl and see what happens.
is that related to the plan, or are we just doing that for?
Something to do today.
Winter feels good for the first time in days. He wants to celebrate a ruckus.
I don't know. Maybe he likes chaos.
Do you?
I don't know.
I love you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
not a good
maybe
plan.
Gilson knows something about him.
Maybe.
He worked for the family, presumably for a while. Maybe he has some info.
Maybe.
Would our new spacing on his name, but our host currently
Gilson.
Gilson.
Gilson?
Gilson.
Ilson?
Gil.
Gil
Like Gil. Gilson.
Gil like
Gilson.
Gil.
does
Gil like Gil.
doesn't have any
Gil
family?
is Gil.
Does Gilson have family?
Gilson.
I mean, we could ask,
Most
in that vein, we could just ask who's the longest staffer? Who's the longest employee of Darkbrew? And we could just go ask them if they're in this, who's the longest employee in the city for Darkbrew, and see what they know about the family. We might have to sweet talk or bribe or, get in their good graces for them to spill info. Like, even though we are officially hired by Darkbrew, you don't really get far as spilling secrets you've overheard as a chambermaid or something like that. So, could be a good way, but we'll probably have to be prepared to coax the info out.
Mm-hmm.
Not like that, Nicoya.
I didn't say anything.
Can we also just try asking Gilson, hey, do you know where Hermit is? Have you heard?
Okay, so
Are there any rumors?
Gilson has walked back into the room and he is starting to clean up some of your dishes and pass them. He sits in.
Yoo-hoo, Gilson.
Wilson?
Yes.
We have some questions for you if you have a second. Teehee.
Of course, I'm not doing anything else at the moment. As he holding a bunch of dishes. Obviously, I have all the time in the world for you. What would you like?
Thanks so much.
Can we cantrip those clean
What?
for him? And by we, I mean someone else with magic powers.
Does anyone have prestidigitation?
I have no.
No. Carry on.
What can you tell us about what's his name?
Hermit.
Hermit. Gilson.
Hurmit.
What can you tell us about Hermit?
I could tell you many things and nothing. He is a not a chip off the old block. Let's say that. Spends
I don't get it.
spends most of his energy trying to spend his family's fortune rather than add to it. He likes, he's what you would expect, a young man with no direction or, coddled all his life. I don't know why Henny became the go-getter and the enterprising young woman she is, and Hermit did not, but
Who's
far
older?
be it for me to judge.
Which one of them's the older sibling?
He says, obviously judging. I don't keep up with his comings and goings. It is more of my job to look after the house and make sure everything's in proper condition for Master Darkbrew. And quite frankly, I don't like Hermit's company. However, he is friendly with some of the staff. You might want to ask him. They might know his comings and goings.
Which staff
You
members?
could talk to one of the chambermaids, Terrelyn. Would probably be your best bet. Would you like me to get her?
Maybe after dinner.
Excellent.
Also, who's the older sibling between Henny and Hermit?
Henny.
I once met a rich, directionless man with questionable morals and a lot of money that he liked to burn. And you know what I think they like? Black market magical creatures for sale.
That's a bit
oddly
Dawn.
specific.
Yeah.
Any particular kind of magical creature?
I don't know. When we make up,
Large
it's really
cat
rare.
people?
You only have it if you have a lot of money and if you were someone who took over a zoo of exotic animals and you were crazy.
I
You're
agree.
just wanted
What
all
about
of
a
them.
couple balls in a human sack bag?
Point of contention. I feel like if you just bought a zoo of exotic animals, you probably would then have a lot of direction because, you have to take care of them.
Right, but they don't have to be
Gilson
real.
is kind of like, still there, cleaning up, coming back and forth, and he does look at Winter and say, that would require effort. Hermit is not one for effort.
So what's something that you can do that doesn't take commitment, takes a lot of money, makes you feel good about having a lot of money, costs a lot of money? Gambling?
Whorehouses.
Yeah. Does
course.
he gamble? Does he buy?
I assume he does. I assume he does all the three because if you're a young man with lots of money, why wouldn't you, I suppose, and no responsibility? Like I said, Terrelyn would probably have more information about
What
that.
if we set up a high-profile gambling tournament with prostitutes in a winery or like a meadery? There we go. We've got all three.
I mean, I want to go to that.
There could also be some sort of casino in town,
Yeah, probably exists
right? It's a
already.
big city or like some kind of like underground.
More than one. Is gambling
Club.
illegal?
No, gambling is quite legal.
Well, above ground club, perhaps.
Yeah.
Out in the open,
Or an
maybe.
above the law club that happens to be underground.
Right.
Yeah.
It's dark, shady.
Yep. I still think we should pursue Terrelyn at some point, and probably any well-connected employee too. Whoever would be in a good position to overhear stuff, chambermaid probably is a high contender on that list.
Yeah.
What servant would be the one who, let's say I'm Hermit and I just spent a lot of money being, partaking in debauchery and I crash at 5 a.m, which staff member would be the one to come in and, tidy the room and probably overhear conversations of whomever people or person I have brought to my bed that night?
It would be any one of us. We don't have, we have a staff that, works in shifts. But when the master is away, it is a smaller. When the master's away, we do keep a smaller staff on hand. So it would either be Terrellin, we have Barrow, or Illis.
Does Hermit stay
Either one
here?
of those, really.
Does Hermit stay here? Does he have another place that he...
Oh, Hermit stays here, but sometimes he does not come home. He'll be gone for a couple of days, and where he stays when he's not here is none of my concern. And quite frankly, I don't want it to be.
He stays here?
He has a room here. He has quarters here, yes.
When's the last time he was here?
He was here... It's been a while. Not since the ugliness with Oven came to light.
Just a little bit of trying to have your
Before that,
mother-in-law
so-
murdered.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yes.
Where
Does he
is
have
his
own
room?
He can lead you to the room if you wish.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
I guess
Yeah.
if we're all
Okay.
cleaned up.
As we're walking, I just want to ask Gilson, do you like your job?
I do. Master Darkbrew treats me very well.
Okay, that's all.
He looks at you and thank you for your concern.
Of course.
Nicoya, do you like your job?
I love it. I love working with all of you.
Can I insight check Nicoya? Was that like forced?
Yes, you can insight check Nicoya with your passive wisdom of 9.
Oh, okay.
Or you can roll perception if you'd like.
That
Or
would be insight.
Insight, yeah.
18.
Oh,
18. Damn, you must have rolled
I rolled
19?
a 19.
Wow. Nicoya genuinely seems to like all of you.
No.
Yeah.
aw.
Fuck you, Kelvin.
Wait, is that right, Nicoya? I was actually just assuming. I
Yeah,
guess I
no,
should let
she's-
Nicoya answer.
Except for Lucky and the bird incident, Theodore, but
Okay, yeah, all right. That's
Nom
fair.
nom nom.
All right, Gilson leads you to Hermit's quarters. So it's it's you guys are up on like the 4th floor in small individual rooms. He brings you up to the 3rd floor where there's fewer rooms, larger obviously, and he brings you into Hermit's room. It is a nice room, ornate, 4-poster bed, nice furniture, and ornately carved in the dwarven style. Nothing especially Kelwyn. This is exactly what you would expect of walking into a rich merchant dwarven's. Kind of reminds you of like the some of the much higher ranking houses of some military people you've been to. It's very nice, but it doesn't look stayed in a lot. It doesn't look. Yeah, it's not really a room. It's more of like an apartment. He's got a couple of rooms, like a little office and a bedroom and a little kitchen with a pantry, a small pantry, so he can cook if he wants to, but it doesn't look like that's used very much. And yeah, there is a desk with some papers on it, but not a lot. There is also a locked drawer on the desk.
That's
Yeah.
what
Yes,
the
Nicoya.
is.
Can Nicoya just sort of plop onto the bed and like see how comfy it is?
Sure.
I do that.
It's a comfy bed.
Oh, great.
Gilson, I was gonna hesitate because I felt weird about it, and then realized that, this guy tried to kill Oven. So I hope you don't mind. I'm not planning on, not actively trying to make more work for you. And then I just start tossing the room looking for stuff, like documents, signatures, maybe like a signet ring for signing and stamping, like letters, something like that. Hidden, I don't know, weapons, gold, just something that might
Maybe
be.
Okay.
unlock the drawer first.
Moondust.
Well, yeah. I'm not like smashing things open. I'm just
Yeah.
rifling through everything.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I'm also gonna.
In fact, I'm going to assume all of you are going to probably partake in this. So
Yeah,
I
sure.
tell them what I'm
why don't
looking
you
for.
why don't you all roll an investigation check?
Well, I'm proficient in that. Oh, I got a 20.
11.
9.
7.
2.
16.
20.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. Who got above a 10?
No.
Okay. Nicoya, you rifle through the desk
Mhm.
and you find a key.
Is it for the drawer?
You find a knife under the pillow, like a little dagger, an ornate dagger. And
What does the handle look like? Any writing on it? Any
no, just kind
carving?
of. It's definitely a fancy knife, a fancy dagger, more for show. But it's usable, and it's under the pillow, probably for self-defense, but you're not sure. It's the kind of dagger, again, with your ridiculous
bring home
passive
to mom.
insight and perception. It's the kind of dagger a noble would wear if he wanted to look, to show that he was wearing a dagger, but didn't exactly need to know how to use it.
Okay. All right. It was like free
Yep.
dagger.
Valmaya, you find stashed in the back of one of his dresser drawers, wrapped in a sock, a stash of gold, like a handful of gold coins.
Ooh.
And Nicoya, like I said, you find a key.
Is the key for that locked drawer?
Why, yes, it is.
I'm going to open up that drawer.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
It could be trapped.
It's too late. He said he was opening it.
Nicoya's opening it. She's not going to think about that.
And fortunately, not trapped. I will say the other thing you guys don't notice is as Kelwyn was specifically searching for signets and signet rings and things like that, a lack of official papers. Lack of banknotes, a lack of correspondence with holding things, something you might typically find in like Oven's office is stacked with invoices and receipts and correspondence with agents and things like that. Nothing of that nature.
What were
Nicoya, you do find a stack of letters.
I start reading them.
They are love letters.
Oh.
Okay.
They are love letters, and as you read through them,
Stop humanizing him.
let's say they're not love letters. Let's call them lust letters.
Okay.
These are definitely more like body. What's thirsty letters, for lack of a better word.
Are they to him or like from him but not sent?
They are to him, but enclosed are quotes, like things like you said you wanted to do this to me. Well, this is what I would do in return. And
They're
Nicoya's
sexting.
gonna get a little sweaty and like fan herself as she reads.
Are they all from the
Oh.
same person or from multiple people?
It is. It's as you. The top of the stack is all from the same person. As you get closer to the bottom of the stack, it's a few different people. Some time interval in between, but like I said, the top of the stack, for a good portion of the top of the stack, it is the first one, and you can go by the dates that there were a few at the beginning, but now there seems to have just been one letter writer, one correspondent for a while now.
Do we recognize who it's from?
The only thing there's no full name. Let me get my notes here, but you do see Elsie is the name, and you
Elsie.
hear you see the place Duskbed Inn written quite a bit.
Duskbed?
Duskbed.
Can I ask Gilson if Duskbed Inn rings any bells to him?
The Duskbed Inn is an establishment in Inglestone. It is a rather. It has a. It's not. It's rather.
You don't have to be shy.
Working merchant class, but has a good reputation.
Any reputation for anything unsavory?
Well, any
Do they have
place.
whores?
Not all the nighttime professionals work in brothels.
I see.
Can I
they
go
have
through his closet?
Especially if they have a wealthy gentleman who can afford a room of their own.
So they have a nighttime cleaning crew. Got it. Got it.
Somebody was going to ask something. I'm sorry.
Lucky.
I want to go through his closet and see if there's any like disguises or anything interesting.
Okay.
None of that's gonna fit you, Lucky.
Rude.
I have a
Could be a
question.
really
for
You're
cool
literally
Jason.
2 feet taller than him.
You find typical, clothes for a wealthy merchant, a lot of silks and brocades and, nice jackets and some jewelry,
What kind of jewelry?
rings, mostly.
Lucky tries on rings.
They don't quite fit. Your fingers are too long and slender, and
Is Gilson cool with us just like rifling through all this stuff?
Gilson is, despite his sarcasm, he's a bit hard to read. You can
Also,
roll an insight check if you look, but
it
he
was
is
his
just
job to track him down.
standing there. Yeah, he is just standing there passively, watching, waiting to answer any questions you might
I'd
have.
like to do an insight check if I can.
Do an insight check.
I got a 5.
You got a 5. He's hard to read. He seems to be standing there passively, waiting to answer any of your questions.
Okay. Gilson. Oh.
Yes.
Is there a portrait of Hermit around? Just out of curiosity. Wait, what it looks like?
Yes. Let me go get it out of storage. Master Darkbrew had us take it down once the unpleasantness happened.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we go look at the rest of the families?
Meet me back down in the foyer when you're done here.
Okay.
Thanks.
He nods, shuffles away.
All right.
Does Lucky steal the rings?
They don't fit. I'm gonna leave them unless you guys think we should sell them. But we're not here to loot. We're here to find
If we were
answers.
not hired by the same people who own all of this stuff, I'd think about it.
We could return it to the family, but I don't think that's our primary.
To find it. Well, we could actually let's move it to the safe in the house just in case he hires someone to come get it because he knows he left it here. So like all
Good idea.
the precious stuff, we can move it to the Darkbrew family safe. I'm assuming they've had the code change or something. Because that would be
I would
dumb
assume.
to just leave it in the
1111.
Yeah.
New password.
Now it's 1112.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I wonder how. I don't know
anything
how
else? Okay.
easy it is to change the code on like a Tumblr safe. Because I'm assuming it wasn't like a punch thing.
This is also like 1,000 years before the Brunch Club. So if there's a safe, it's a key.
Oh, that
There's
makes
no-
sense.
There's no tumbler mechanisms or anything like that. Yeah, or it has a magical lock. But
True.
most likely, if it's a really nice safe with very important thing, it's usually like a combination of different keys. So
That makes sense. So I guess that's what we do. Probably with the dagger too that you found, Ula, because
Okay.
we can.
Yeah, I can get plenty of daggers at home. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, that's evidence.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, you can have it.
Should we hold on to the letters or put it back?
You probably pocket the letters. You search the room for valuables, which you bring to the foyer and give to Gilson, and suggest he put in the safe in case Hermit sends someone to come back for it. And for the first time, Gilson actually looks somewhat impressed. Says, excellent thinking. I will post a guard in the room as well.
It's a good idea.
Thanks, bud.
And he pulls out the portrait. The portrait is very, it is a portrait of a man. Ula, go ahead and roll insight, please.
How big is this portrait that he just kind of like pulled it out while we were chatting? I assumed like a.
Well, he had gone to get it from storage, so it's kind of leaning against his leg. It's probably about 4 feet by 3 feet. So fairly decent sized portrait.
Can we see?
Not as large as Bruce's portrait when you walked in, when there was a giant, full size portrait of Bruce Darkbrew, very much looking like the stern, important man dwarf he is, and of course the Hans Holbein, Henry VIII style.
Piece.
Yes.
Yeah. And while that one was very kind of dark background, man who looks very, very important, and earned his reputation. Ula, go ahead and roll insight again. I didn't see you. Or did you roll insight?
I did 8 total.
8 total. Well, given, you know what? I'm going to ignore it just because your passive wisdom, this insight is so good.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I think it's ridiculous for you to roll an 8 on an insight check when your passive is
Yeah.
15.
Fair.
But at this point, it's also from what you know of Hermit so far. You guys see this portrait. And this portrait is definitely a portrait someone has had commissioned and has been told, make me look more important than I am.
Does he have Napoleon syndrome? Is he short man?
He's a dwarf.
Oh, he's a dwarf. Is he a short dwarf?
I wouldn't say he has physical Napoleon syndrome. He has intellectual or emotional. He's definitely trying to seem more accomplished than he really is.
Are you saying then the portrait is not an accurate depiction of his actual physical characteristics, or?
Gilson tells you this is what he looks like. It is,
has it been face-tuned?
It hasn't been altered physically, but the clothes are very, very fine. He's in a very ornate, important-looking fictional setting, an office that is not his, nor would it be anybody's. Definitely a portrait of someone who sees himself as important rather than someone who really is.
Okay, so if this is
But it is a fairly accurate representation of what he looks like.
if this is Hermit trying to look important, I'm assuming he asked the artist to put things that he thinks is important in it. What's in the background? Is there like a bunch of books, or is it like tons of expensive like ottomans?
It's the desk is very ornate. The chair, he's like, got his hand up on the chair, and it's very ornate as well. And there are books, there's scales, there's stacks of gold, fine porcelain sculptures and figurines.
Are there
and
any
just,
like? Does he have
some
like
animal heads mounted on the walls?
Is there like
Is one of them oven?
flashy weapon or something? Like a ceremonial looking.
He does have a rapier by his side that his other hand is on.
Are any of us artists? Like, would we be able to draw?
I can make a map.
Yeah, could we like have it so we have a copy of his likeness that we could maybe show people when we're looking for him?
No, the Koi uses her masculinity faces and turns her face into his.
Ugh.
Like this?
We're looking for a man. He looks like this.
Is that him over there? I don't know. Go stand next to him.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, that does help because now
Lucky if
Natoya
you'd
has
like-
that in her
lucky if
memory,
you'd
right?
like
So we
to-
can.
Lucky, if you'd like to try to do a sketch of him.
I would love to try and do a sketch of him with my map making skills.
I'm not 100% sure what you'd roll for this. I'm going to say,
Performance.
yeah, I would say performance.
Alright.
Well, actually, do you have the actual cartography skill?
I think you'd roll it using the artist tools. Like, so instead of how it's like in wisdom insight or insight wisdom, it would be like paint tools, whatever skill.
Yeah, like how you'd roll with a lock picking set.
Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head which skill.
Well, you are a cartographer, which does mean you are like practiced in copying very accurate details.
I have cartographer's tools.
Okay. And
So
that
what?
gives-
So what?
Hold on a second. I'm trying to find your cartographer's tools thing on my.
Let's see, I've got this painter's supplies.
What happens if you click on cartographer's tools? What does it say?
It's just under my proficiencies in languages, and it doesn't link.
Oh, okay.
But I can look it up.
You know what? For the interest of moving forward, because it is doing portraiture, I will have you just roll. I'll have you roll performance.
I did, and it was bad. Can I roll again? We were
Stick figure.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Talk
that
amongst
was bad
yourselves.
too. I think it was only like 2 different, so it was like.
Hold on. Cartographer's tools.
So they let you add your proficiency to it, like it's a.
Okay,
logic
let's
set.
you add your proficiency to any ability check you make using the tools of your craft.
Right. So for this, I mean, I would make the DC a lot higher than if he had painter's tools, because you're just using black paint. Like it's meant to make maps, not people.
Yeah. So I am going to say, go ahead and roll with performance. So performance, whatever, and then add proficiency to it.
Jesus. So 7.
7. Okay. Did you guys ever see that painting of the nun who tried to restore that
Yes.
Restore the old monk.
It was Jesus, wasn't it?
It was Jesus,
Yeah.
but it looked like
Jesus? Okay.
yeah.
That was so bad.
Not after.
That was so bad.
So,
All right. Let me just show.
so you're gonna stick with it'll stick with Nicoya's changing face, but
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucky, you know what? Everyone's saying that you were rushed. Gilson was looking over you. It always sucks when you're drawing and people are staring over your shoulder. It's just, so yeah, you know what happens.
Everything I draw has cat ears on it.
It just didn't look right without them.
So, anyway.
I mean, we could also probably track down the guy who did this painting if we wanted.
Yeah, Gilson, is the painter here in town?
No, this painting was done by the family portrait artist
Yes.
back in our home city of I'm sorry, what's your home city again, Kelvin?
Oberwerden.
Oberwerden, yes. No, the portrait artist was back in Oberwerden. So
it has a common name that I wrote down somewhere that I can't remember too.
Yeah, you told me too, and I can't remember it.
Yeah, it's obelisk.
That's it, obelisk. So, so. Any more questions for Gilson? It is after dinner, but it's still fairly early because you guys took the coach. So we'll say it's, if you guys arrived at just before sunset, it was probably getting 5, 6-ish, and so it's probably like 9 o'clock-ish now.
So I know we're tracking down a killer. Well, killer by proxy, I guess. But also we did some good damn work with those hags, so why don't we, unless anyone has some objections, why don't we find a tavern near the Duskbed?
It's a good idea.
And we'll ask around.
Dead girl.
But maybe we couldn't find anyone relevant, and we mostly just chatted amongst ourselves because for some reason no one really wanted to talk to us. Any objections?
Drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can,
Are
add some
we coming
Gilson
back?
Gilson tells you to just have the coachman take you to the Duskbed Inn, so you will get there faster. He also tells you that the members of the staff that you might want to talk to about Darkbrew's or about Hermit's whereabouts will be there tomorrow.
Is Terrelyn not in right now?
Terrelyn is there right now.
Why don't we talk to her before we go?
Okay. He goes off, and then he does not come back, but a dwarven female named Terrelyn comes in. She's friendly and smiles at you, and is almost a little starstruck, and kind of looks at you, Kelvin. She kind of can't take her eyes off Kelvin.
Meow.
How may I help you, sir?
We're looking to find out more about Hermit, like where he hung out most of the time in the city outside of here. Heard you might have, maybe you were more privy to some info than some others were.
Oh, we chatted. We got along fair enough. He seemed like a nice guy. Never, never rude or anything. A little bit handsy, but that comes with the territory, I guess. Never did me wrong though. I would say there's a couple places he likes his fair gambling. His favorite casino that I knew of was the Fortune's Wheel.
Sorry.
Interesting name.
Lucky, have you been there?
What, Winter?
Oh, I was just asking Lucky if he'd been before. He seems
No,
entertained.
just really like the name.
The owner of Pat Sajon.
He's been to a couple of he's been to a couple of he likes variety. Let me see, where's he hung out in the past? Duskbed Inn. He likes a tavern called Goodberries. His favorite as of late was Reds. Not Reds. Everyone calls it Reds, but it's actually Roostvales. And then, a young man. A couple of other places he liked. The Two-Backed Beast.
Me.
And the Shambling Mounds.
Oh boy.
I don't get it.
Sounds like Hermit's a busy guy.
Oh, he is.
For some
He
reason, you
is.
said
And he
two-backed
does
beast.
like to talk about it.
You said two-backed beast, and my brain was like, camel. Of course.
So yeah, he hasn't been around lately, of course, and I still can't believe what I've heard about him. Is it true? Did he really hire those assassins to kill Ovin? I can't believe it. He always seems so harmless.
I mean, so far he himself has been.
We're just here to ask him some questions. I wouldn't worry about it.
Nasty, nasty business. Well, like I said, we haven't seen him in, I haven't seen him in almost a month now. So, but
Can we?
he does
roll to
have.
see?
He was spending a lot of time at the Duskbed. There was a barmaid there he rather liked.
Do you know her name?
I think her name was Isel or Elise Isel, actually. Elsie Isel. Elsie Isel was her name.
Can we do an insight?
Not hard to find. As far as I know, the only dwarf. I mean, not many dwarves in Inglestone. Just here in Darkbrew's Rest, and I think she was the only dwarf to actually work at the Duskbed Inn, so she shouldn't be hard to find.
Okay.
Well.
Well,
Can we do an insight check to see if she was lying with the last time she saw him?
You met
11.
11. Seems sincere. She's pleasant.
okay. I guess, well, thanks, Terlin. And, you're better than
I
him.
give her
Don't
a
get tied
gold
up.
and say, if you remember anything else, let us know.
Oh, thank you. Sir?
Yes.
Stay away from
Okay.
guys like Helmet. They're no good.
Helmet.
Hermits, but
Oh, yeah.
noted.
Hermit.
So
You should get with a good guy like Kelwin.
Right.
So is there anything else? If there's nothing else, I'll have to get back to my duties.
Go
So
for it.
she bows respectfully and then leaves. Gilson does not come back, but the door opens, and the same dwarven coachman that brought you here, your coach is ready to bring you to the Duskbed if you want. So,
Are we going at like 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when all the good stuff starts happening.
I mean, okay, all our armor's here, but okay.
Well, presumably we don't need it if we're going to a tavern.
You never know.
Well, what if we end up at the casino? I mean,
Presumably you don't need it at the casino. Are you guys planning on starting something?
well, if
No,
we
plan on
find him,
finishing it, Kelwin.
we don't know what kind of people he's surrounded with and what they would do to attack us or to avoid us. It's only being cautious.
I feel like even if we found him, we'd...
the driver is listening to your conversation. Says, weapons wouldn't be allowed in a casino. They would confiscate them, unless you guys.
Would they confiscate a net?
all weapons. They wouldn't be unless you want to go to some of the rougher bars. You might want to armor up and take some. But I will tell you, judging the conversations and why you're here, and I don't think Kermit didn't have a taste for the rougher life.
What a shame.
The rougher side of life, yes.
Also,
He liked, the more expensive things.
pretty sure my armor's getting patched up right now anyway.
Okay.
Lucky can be wearing his light armor because the medium armor is being patched up.
He can.
And
yeah.
it's easier to wear.
I also have studded leather.
Same for Tailwind and Winter as well.
Yeah.
And I think Ula. No, Ula, what do you have for armor?
I believe just studded leather.
Studded leather. Okay, so yeah, that's probably being patched up. But yes, Kelwin, Winter, and Lucky do have their pajama armor. Their sleeping armor. So they could choose to wear that if they wish.
I do. And my armor class just dropped.
Well, your armor class. So everybody's armor class right now is going to be just 10 plus their dexterity, unless you have some armor on. So we'll say you guys, the coachman waits for you. You guys get in the coach. He brings you to the Duskbed Inn, and as you get out, you notice across the street from the Duskbed Inn is a laughter and kind of a raucous, tavern type noises coming from the tavern across the street, which is indeed Roostvale's. And you see a big sign with kind of a stylized big red beard and mustache, but no face around it, just a big red beard and mustache. And above it says Roostvale's Surprises.
Winter loves surprises.
And that's where we'll go ahead and take a break right now, a short break, and we'll come back and see what you guys want to do after that.
Apparently start a bar fight. Based on Winter and Ula.
I do have a playing card set as a tool.
Oh.
Apparently.
Oh.
So
Like
Okay.
a mark
Start a
that you
card
have
game.
control of?
Just a deck of cards.
It's just a deck of cards,
deck of
yeah. So,
Okay.
but I don't know. I mean,
We're gonna
maybe
start
I
a bar
could-
fight because Lucky's gonna try and swindle someone.
Me?
All right. Okay, now go.
Lucky?
Well, you're the one who
Okay,
just
so
said
you
where
are
we were. Where are we?
You're in the middle of the street between Duskbed Inn and Roostvale's Surprise.
So, do we want to go follow all the fun sounds, or do we want to go see if we can talk to the maid?
Fun sounds.
We could
Okay.
split up.
Fun.
Never split the party.
All right. The driver lets you off. You guys wander into the Roostvale's Surprise. You open it up. It is a fairly large room. It is full of people. All the tables are taken. There are people standing around the bar. And you just see it looks like a hunter's lodge. There's heads of exotic animals mounted all around the place. Some of the beasts you recognize. You see cockatrices. You see a chimera. You see a manticore. You've actually fought some of these things. And there's your typical, giant. You even see a giant scorpion head, like mounted next to two claws mounted and the tail above it, harkening back to one of your first battles when you battled 3 giant scorpions. So you guys almost feel oddly at home in here. You also see a giant painting of a human in a with a big red beard and mustache, and he has his foot up on a fallen manticore and a big heavy crossbow over his shoulder. And it's definitely a very heroic pose. And underneath it, on a big brass plaque, you see, you see just the name Red Roostvale. Ready for anything, Red. Ready for anything, Roostvale.
Is he
Is
shirtless in the
Anything you
portrait?
say.
Yeah, ready for anything. He is not shirtless, but he is very, very rugged and
Not yet.
not yet. You also notice a small crowd gathered around the end of the bar. And you hear just the little crowd chanting, chug, 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 chug. And suddenly the crowd parts and this half-elf stumbles out of the crowd, goes to a bucket against the wall, and just heaves into the bucket. And you hear splashing noises as it splashes into either water or, who knows what. There's lots of laughter and some guys patting him on the back and a little exchange of gold going back and forth between the crowd that was gathered around. So that's the scene you walk into.
Who's from our party? Who's like closest to Kelwyn? Are we all just in a throng?
You're all just bunched together. Yeah.
I grab Lucky, kind of pull him a little bit down closer to me, and just say, "Put money on me." And then I just go over to whatever's happening over there with this, what I presume is a drinking contest.
Okay. You
Nice.
guys walk over. You guys walk over to the end of the bar. The crowd is kind of dispersed, and you see a giant keg on its side, and it has two chalices on top that are completely covered in dust. You cannot read them because they're covered in dust, but you can read the plaque engraved on the front of the keg. And this is the Keg of Nova Rest. And behind the bar is a sun elf, kind of like wiping some glasses, chuckling to himself and wiping down the bar and all that.
Is there anyone that looks like they're organizing a competition? Like, did everyone just disperse?
Everyone just kind of dispersed.
I walk over to the bartender and how do you get that? Point at the chalice.
Oh, that? And he just kind of chuckles. That's the Keg of Nova Rest. If you can chug a whole chalice from the keg, you get your name engraved on the chalice, and whenever you come back here, every drink you have in the chalice is for free. But you have to be able to drink it successfully, chug it in one setting, and it is a 5 gold participation fee.
Is there betting on whether I can do it?
Oh, some people usually bet. It's fool's money. I mean, I've been working here for 45 years, and he points to the 2 chalices on top of the keg and says, "Those were here before I got here. I've never seen anyone do it."
I'm new in town. Is Red ready? That guy, and I point to the posters. He's still around?
Oh yes, he's still around. He's off on one of his hunting trips, but I expected him back a couple days ago. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up tonight.
I see. So if I were to attempt this chalice, would it be a faux pas to start that before he's here, or would it be more fun, more of a show?
Oh, I don't know if he'll be here tonight.
Okay.
He's certainly I don't think it's just this is just one of the things he brought back from his travels. I wouldn't make a plan around him, but I also wouldn't waste your money. Like I said, I've never seen anyone accomplish it. But
If
you
it's
want to give
money,
it a shot.
if it's money you enjoy wasting, I don't think it's wasted then. Nice slap.
Good. That's a good. That's a very good saying. I like it.
Thanks, I made it up. Here's 5 coins.
Either way, you get drunk, right?
All right. Are you really ready? Okay.
Hang on a second. And I go over
Yes.
to Lucky again, and I'm like, start betting. Just see if you can get
Okay.
people to bet.
Lucky hops up on a stool. Ladies and gentlemen, we have this little tiny dwarf here who thinks he's gonna get a chalice.
just glare.
Who wants to bet me?
A hurrah goes up from amongst the crowd. You see the half elf who had just attempted it, like slumped in a bench. I was like,
Wait, Lucky, are you
drops
betting
his
against
hand,
me?
passes out.
Did you say?
No, I think he can do it. Who doesn't? Bet me.
So you get some people. So this is okay. This is the way this is gonna work. Are you gonna take
I got-
people's? All right.
I don't know betting, but I'm just
Okay,
gonna
so
say that I'm
basically-
putting up 50 of my own gold that he can do it.
50 of your own gold.
Mhm.
Okay, and some people are calling you on that. Now you're not going to do 50 gold each.
No, total.
Okay. So you got one guy going, I'll take that bet. And, another elf comes up to you and says, I'll take that bet. And he takes a little sack of 50 gold and puts it on the bar next to you and nods at you to see yours.
I put 50
Then
gold
other
up
people
there.
start-
I check with the bartender. I'm like, you gonna watch over this?
I mean, people are, I mean, it seems pretty kosher. There's other people this other crowd is gathered around. Other people are like, what do you think? What do you think? And then a lot of people are like, no way. And then there's the one guy like, oh yeah, he can do it. And like, so there's a few, the more prevailing attitude is he's not going to do it. But there are some people who are willing to risk the money just for sport.
Kelwin approaches, I don't know, the cask, the keg.
Okay, so the bartender actually leans over the bar, has a brand new chalice, not one of the dusty, gross ones up top. Kind of reaches around, pours the chalice. You see just a clear liquid come out. It looks like water. But then it just kind of as soon as the tap closes, you swear you see like a puff of steam just come off of it.
If I do a bardic inspiration on Kelwin, can he use that at all in this contest?
I will let him use bardic inspiration.
Nice.
Okay.
However, you must roll sleight of hand for me while you're casting it.
Doesn't he have to? He has to play a song. He has to inspire me somehow.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
You can.
Do you want me
allow-
to sleight a hand first, and then if I can, sing a song?
You can sing a song and do sleight of hand. The song could just come off as being silly encouragement, but the sleight of hand is the kind of just so people don't so you disguise it well enough that it's not a spell.
Okay, my sleight of hand was terrible,
You
and
know
I
what? Not
accidentally
sleight of
rolled
hand,
it. I
let's
didn't.
go with
mean it.
deception. Let's
But
go with deception.
okay. My song is, did you ever know that you're my hero? And perception? No. Persuasion.
Deception.
Deception. Boop. 12.
12. You know what? People here are pretty drunk. However, he's only going to have one turn. This is all going to be, it's because he's got to chug it. It's all considered one turn, so he's only going to be able to use the Bardic Inspiration dice once.
Okay.
So the way this is going to work, Kelwin.
Kelwin takes his
Yes.
shirt off.
And you take your shirt off and the crowd goes, woo! bartender just kind of chuckles to himself and shakes his head. So Kelvin, the way this is going to work, this is going to require 4 Constitution rolls.
Okay.
The first one will be just to see if you don't gag over the smell of it coming up to your nostrils.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All rolls, Constitution rolls, will require a roll over a 15.
Oh boy.
So, if you would like to make your...
I have a question.
Yes.
So do I.
Wait, I might be able to answer my own question. Hold on. My lucky rolls, can I give them to him?
No.
The Dwarven Resilience for
Yep.
advantage on saving throws against... No, I mean, it is against poison.
Yep, nope, that'll count.
Okay. Are they saving throws or just, like, checks?
They are... They're saving Constitution throws.
Okay.
Rolls. So it would be a Constitution, so you would get your bonus to Constitution.
Fantastic.
And I shouldn't do this, but Ula, if
Yes.
you would like to do a sleight of hand and try to cast Bless without anyone noticing.
Does bless work? It is attack or saving throw.
Yes.
That's funny.
Lucky
I
sees
almost
Ula
talked about
starting to
this.
do something, and Lucky draws a commotion and keeps singing her song.
Okay, so
You're
we're gonna
everything
say
I would like to be.
we're gonna say Lucky is helping you, so you will have an advantage on that sleight of hand roll
If you want to. Because
Yeah.
if you want.
Ula might also just be like, no.
There
That's
is.
true. You don't have to
Okay,
cast
sleight
Bless
of
if you
hand.
don't want to.
No, I think that would work. Ula would do that.
Okay.
I think she would see Lucky doing something and then feel inspired to
Yeah, I'm
chime
allowing.
in. Okay, so sleight of hand, total 19.
Oh, wow.
19. You
That is for
successfully
Bless.
cast Bless
Okay.
on...
That was a level 1.
Now, is Bless for every roll or just once a turn?
Every
Um,
saving throw.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. Up to 1 minute.
All right,
Concentration.
you got a Bless on every saving throw. You might do this, Kelwin.
I hope so.
Do I have my cloak with me of protection right now? Or is that back at the...
Probably back with your gear. Yeah.
All right, never mind.
Unless you specifically told me you were bringing a specific item from...
I think I
Um,
need to attune to it too if you were gonna stack that.
Oh, I was gonna say if I could like tie it to you if it would work, but I guess you have
Yeah,
to.
you guys, yeah. So right now, you guys don't have any weapons because you didn't specifically tell me you were bringing any. Kelwin, Winter, and Lucky all have their sleeping armor.
I'm not wearing my
Um,
my armor.
you not wearing your armor at all?
No.
Okay. Okay.
He's shirtless.
I'm shirtless.
So everyone's going, so everyone's going chug. So the chants start up. Chug, 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 chug. Kelwin, you raise the goblet
So
close to your face. A awful stench. It's nothing you've ever smelled before, and you've been in wartime latrines. You have seen death. You have seen old death. Yet nothing makes you want to gag like what is in front of your nose right now. Please roll your first Constitution save.
So I get to decide which of these I use my Bardic Inspiration on, but I can only use the Bardic Inspiration
Yes,
once.
you can
Okay.
use Bless on all of them and Bardic Inspiration on one of them.
Okay, and advantage versus poison. Okay, that was a 23.
All right, you bring it up. The smell hits you, but you you part through it and you look at the bartender and you cock your eyebrow like, You say something witty like,
Cheers.
nice bouquet. You bring
Mother's
it to your
milk.
lips. You tip the glass and you take your first gulp. Please roll your next Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oh, I have to use my bardic inspiration on this one.
And
It's
you
a-
have blessed.
I used it. Is it a D6 for bardic inspiration?
No, D8 now, right?
8.
Okay,
D8.
I literally was one short, so it doesn't really matter. But let's see, the total is 16.
16, you make it. You must beat a 15. You take your first gulp. Take your second gulp.
Do you have any regular inspiration left?
No.
I don't think any of you guys do.
I do.
Oh, you do, okay.
Okay. 16.
16. You take. That is your second gulp. You are one gulp away from having your name etched on a chalice of Novari Rest. Roll for your final gulp. Yes, Winter.
Oh no, I was watching his rolls on D&D Beyond.
27.
He did it.
26.
I rolled
You
a nat
you
1
hold the
on that
glass
one, but
up.
because of advantage, I got 27.
The crowd cheers. Now, I need you to make one more Constitution roll.
To not vomit.
The crowd is cheering.
Okay, it was a 26.
26. You hold the chalice up. Everybody is cheering. Money is being exchanged. Lucky, you're getting 50 gold. And Cohen, you are like, yeah, that wasn't so hard. And suddenly the room starts spinning. You don't feel sick. You're able to support yourself. But you are, even with your dwarven poison resistance, you are now officially drunk, which has the same effect as being poisoned, until you have a long rest.
Fantastic.
So, Kelwyn, everybody is cheering, and the bartender takes the chalice from you, takes out a piece of parchment and goes, I never thought I would see the day. Kelwyn, give yourself an inspiration dice, please.
Amazing.
Can I lift Kelvin up and start crowd surfing him?
Okay. Oh yeah. You're crowd surfing. He's going through. People are kind of like, yeah. People are grabbing his butt.
How
and you
many
got
of
all
them
these
can
random
lift
hands
me?
on your bare back?
I'm like 350 pounds.
That's a lot. Some people almost drop you.
Scares.
And these are, it's mostly an elven bar, so elves are pretty strong, and so as you're being crowd surfed along the bar, Lucky, the bartender looks at you and says, "Well, what should we engrave on the chalice?"
Oh.
Because Kelwyn's not there to answer. Kelwyn has been crowd surfed across the bar.
No.
What should we get engraved on the chalice there, Lucky?
Can't just throw this at me.
You're there. Anybody else can chime in if they want. So you all hear him ask Lucky what to engrave on the chalice.
Boss man.
Kelwyn Whitesmith, hero, best friend of Lucky.
Okay, Kelwyn Frostbeard is his actual name, but
No, Whitesmith.
Huh? Whitesmith.
oh, it is Whitesmith, right?
Yeah.
Kelwyn Whitesmith. Oh, I'm thinking Angor, right? Kelwyn Whitesmith. What'd you say, Lucky?
Kelwyn Whitesmith, hero, best friend of Lucky.
All right. Okay, and he writes that down on a scroll, and he wraps the scroll around the stem of the chalice, and he puts it under the bar for later. He's all right. We'll get that up there in a week or two. Congratulations. I never thought as long as I lived I'd see anyone else do that. That's amazing. I'm very impressed. I wish Red were here to see this. And the second he says that, the door opens, and those of you who see the door open, a red-headed, red-bearded, large mustachioed, large human walks in. He doesn't quite look like the man in the painting. He's a little bit older. He carries himself, normally. He doesn't have an Ula with her, bizarrely high passive perception would notice. He just doesn't carry himself with an air of arrogance or anything, and doesn't walk in like he owns the place. But everyone pretty much recognizes him and says, "Red, you missed it, Red." He's like, "What? What did I miss?" I'm like, "Chalice, Chalice." Everybody starts chanting Chalice, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it." And comes to the bar, talks to the bartender, and points to Kelwyn still being. But his crowd surfing is getting slower as his weight is starting to. He's getting lower and lower and lower. And finally, they just kind of like place you back by the bar, and you like grab it for support, and you're like smiling, and Red slaps you on the back and says, "Well done, my friend. A free round on the house in honor of your name, sir."
Kelwyn.
Kelwyn, in honor of Kelwyn, a free round on the house. Everyone cheers again, and everyone's very, very happy. And Kelwyn, you are the man of the moment.
You're the painting.
He laughs a good heart. I am. Although the painting does me a little bit more justice than reality.
I disagree.
You're drunk. Because I know you're drunk because you finished the chalice and you're not passed out.
Very insightful.
Excellent. It's pretty funny. 2 out of the 3 people who've successfully done that are sorry, there's Lucky, look behind you. Three, all of them have been dwarves. That's quite astounding.
Dwarf blood runs thick, and this temple is a body or something like that. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking, can Aquila kind of slat up, be like, "What other dwarves have done this?"
Oh, I forget their names. That keg was there when I bought this establishment about 30 years ago.
Oh.
No. You can take the chalices down and dust them off if you'd like.
Oh yeah, Nicoya does that.
Okay, Nicoya, you grab the first chalice and dust it off, and you see a name engraved on it. It's a little hard to read because of the years of dust and just how old it is. But you see the name Anera, Bard of Drizon.
Okay.
And the second chalice you pull down and you wipe off, and you see the name that is familiar to you.
Henny.
Angor Frostbeard.
Of course.
I know him.
So yes, and now soon, Kelwyn Whitesmith, friend of Lucky, will join.
You don't know
will join the Chalice group.
You don't know a Helmet Darkbrew, do you?
Helmet's Darkbrew. Nope. Whoa, yeah, Hermit. Hermit. Oh
Yes.
Yeah,
ugly,
it's the bitch.
Ugly business that one got himself in. Fun guy. Fun to drink and gamble with, but definitely not his father's son. If you know what I mean. Still, though, ugly business. I never would have expected that of him. He always seemed harmless.
You're the second person to say that.
It's the.
Have you seen him recently?
Oh, I haven't seen him in God. Well, I'm not around a lot. I'm off on hunting trips a lot. So, I would say 6 months, 7 months ago, perhaps.
Did Hermit ever try the chalice?
Oh yeah, a few times. I would say I got about 300 gold off of him,
Holy shit.
betting him he couldn't do it.
That's like at least 6 times.
He was persistent, I'll give him that. Also not very bright, but that's how, people make a lot of money off of not very bright people.
Say, Red. Why is it called Red Surprise?
It's surprise because I like to bring back exotic fare from some of my hunting trips. I have a mage friend in the city that will give me scrolls of magical spells that will preserve meat and things, so that when I'm off on my hunting trips, I can bring back exotic fare that is basically freshly killed. So you never know what you'll get here. Sometimes you'll be dining on fresh chimera or, never stink cow. That doesn't go over well. But
Hey, it tastes good.
I'll take your word for it. But yeah, so whenever I'm off on a hunting trip and I get an exotic beast, I'll bring it back and we'll have something special on the menu the next day.
What's your...
You just got back from a trip. What did you bring?
He kind of laughs and he says, well, nothing this trip. I was successful, but sometimes the bounty goes to other sources.
What's the hardest thing you've killed?
Hardest thing I've killed?
Yeah, the worst fight. I mean, not to stir up dark memories if it wasn't totally successful, but
we killed a large lizard, something called a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That was probably the hardest thing we've killed, but not my dream. I have a dream kill. I've only encountered one once, and it wiped out my entire hunting party. I was the only survivor. But it was a Tarrasque. I would love to get my hands on a Tarrasque. Have no idea what I would do with the carcass or even the meat or the head. I mean, the head wouldn't even fit in this room. The thing is so large. But
how did you survive?
Where the fuck did you find a Tarrasque?
I ran. The rest of my hunting party was dead. That was my only option.
Where did you travel to find such exotic beasts?
I do a lot of my hunting south of Sandhearth. South of the area between Sandhearth and the southern coast of the Arid Valley, rife with like large lizards, large beasts of all kinds.
There's a Tarrasque down there?
There was one. Tarrasques are interesting beasts. They'll come and go, and some say they can portal and interdimensionally wherever they feel like it. They're almost gods, quite in their own right. Some refer to them as titans, but
maybe
sounds otherworldly.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Did you ever have any run-ins with the orcs down that way?
A few. We tend to try to steer clear of them, but there is a certain beast that they like to hunt that we like to hunt, and so the overlap kind of causes problems. But in the interest of keeping the peace with Sandhearth, we try not to go down into their territory too much.
I whisper to Nicoya, I thought for sure the surprise was gonna be, and then just kind of like blatantly stare like a bit south at Red.
Oh my god.
The surprise was gonna be what? Say that again, Brian.
I thought for sure that the Red's surprise was gonna be just,
Oh, I mean, it could be still.
It could be full of surprises.
I'd love to be. I mean,
As you two are talking, Red has actually turned to Winter and Ula and Velmeyer, who are just kind of standing in a group. So, I haven't seen you around before. What brings you here? You're an interesting lot. A tabaxi, a couple of tieflings, a dwarf, a half-elf. This is quite the interesting party here. You're not Oven's boys, or Oven's team, are you? The Vanguard?
We are.
Wow, well, it's a
Indeed.
pleasure to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Nice work with the bullets and Sandhearth. You got there before I did, so kudos to you. Not sure I could have handled 2 of them. I'm very impressed.
Sure, you could handle
Thanks.
2 of them. Come on, Red. Look at you.
I'm not as young and spry as I used to be. What brings you to Inglestone? You're on business for Oven?
Mhm.
Looking for Hermit?
Yep.
Well, I'd like to help you with that, but I haven't seen him, like I said, 6 or 7 months. I don't know. This is a tough one.
Any places around town?
He knows he's being hunted. So I don't think you'd find him at his usual haunts, although,
Would you call him a smart guy?
I'm not going to say he's smart, but, I mean, you tend to be a little bit more cautious when your daddy has a bounty on your head.
Mm.
But, I wouldn't put it past him, like to show up at one of the casinos if he needs money. Although he's never really been much of a winner at those. I think your best bet would be last I heard, he had a girl over at the Duskbed Inn.
We have heard that as well.
Yeah, he might be shacking up with her. If he's in the city, I don't know. He didn't really get along with, how shall we say, the underbelly of the city. They just saw him as an easy mark, and he didn't do anything to prove otherwise, so... he'll like to stay comfortable, but I don't know how well that will serve him. I'm not sure what he would be doing back in the city, knowing that people are looking for him, but like I said, not usually the brightest.
You track things. You could track Hermit.
Things are easier to track when they leave prints in the dirt, my friend.
I mean, I'm sure he's left prints in some dirt with the amount of shit he steps in, so.
He's gonna laugh. I'll tell you what. I will keep my ears and eyes open.
Maybe we could compare tracking notes.
Like I said, my friend, I will keep my ears and eyes open. And if I hear anything, I will let you know.
Can I cast suggestion on him?
You may try.
I want to cast suggestion that he shows Kellen a good time.
Okay.
Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Suggestion is what saving throw?
I can tell you. It's
Also,
a wisdom.
You're clearly casting a spell, by the way.
Can I do it stealthily?
You can roll sleight of hand on it.
Oh. 11.
Okay, so now hold on a second. Let me just look and see what his stat block. I need to base him on a stat. So drunkenly speak amongst yourselves.
Kelvin's the only one who's like
Anybody else
smashed
drinking,
right
by
now,
the way?
right?
Are you guys all drinking? Like, how many drinks are you guys?
Nicoya's not.
There
Nicoya's
was
just
Yeah,
a
we're
round for the
important.
bar, and Lucky had one when there was a round for the bar, but
Okay. Anybody else
Not doing
pounding
shots.
it? Or...
Winter's had a couple beers.
Okay. A couple beers.
The one time you guys decide to not be total lushes in game.
you're too much
But
fun
when
to
the leader's
watch.
hammered.
Somebody needs to stay sober.
Should we?
Hey,
Um,
Colin,
What?
you want to compare tracking notes?
I mean,
You guys
Winter,
think,
don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think of you like that.
Colin, thank you for
okay, go
letting me
ahead
down easy.
and roll your suggestion. And what's the saving throw on that?
I don't have to roll at all, do I?
Oh, you're right. You're right. What's the saving throw on that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your to beat?
17.
Okay, he fails. So what exactly is the suggestion?
That he shows Kelvin a good time in an intimate way.
Wink, wink.
Wink,
Oh,
wink.
wait,
Playing
you know
the
what?
cards.
You know what? Because you rolled an 11 on your sleight of hand,
Yeah.
he is going to notice that you are trying to cast something. He's going to cast a weary eye at you, and I'm going to give him advantage on his saving throw.
Oh, I was gonna say at the same time, Lucky starts doing the same hand motions and yells, "I love that dance."
You still got Red's been around.
Right.
Oh, and he rolls a 19
Aw.
plus 2. So yeah,
Does
he's like he
Kelwin
kind of
know?
gives you the side eyes like, what was that again, little tiefling?
Does Kelwin
Not
know
little,
that Nicoya was doing some bullshit over here?
So what did you say, Nicoya?
What did I say?
You want to show him a good time, but how exactly did you say it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I said. Someone help.
You said
You said,
You were going to suggest
Show Kelvin
giving
a
him
good
a
time.
good time, but you never exactly said how you were going to say that.
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you show Kellen a good time up in your personal quarters?
He looks at you and he says, he's like, looks at you with suspicion at first, then smiles and says, I don't like to mix business with pleasure. However, if you are interested.
Oh, but I feel bad about that because Kellen wants to bang him. I do. Can I try to persuade him somehow? To
You can
bang
roll
Kellen?
persuasion.
Okay.
Give him the nutsack around your neck.
would this give you any ideas?
That's a 12.
You might want to buy
No.
that.
I don't
Barter.
think
He
we
looks at you and says, I'm a pretty open-minded guy, but I prefer my companions a bit more curvy than barrel-shaped.
I slink up to him and say, "Are you sure?" And I roll a persuasion check, and I was like, "I don't know. Look, no shirt. He's got that drunk sweat thing happening. I mean, it's pretty hot, right?"
Hard to say no to that.
He looks at you. I didn't realize that Kelwin traveled with his own party of wingmen.
23.
His bread isn't buttered that way.
All right.
But he appreciates the offer.
I'm sorry, Kel. And in the mind power, I'm gonna say I'm sorry, Kel. I tried.
Sorry. I mean, and I kind of see Red looking at me like, I mean, so, and I flex.
You know, this is funny. This isn't the reputation Kelwin has.
He's drunk.
I also don't think he's ever been drunk before for the, like, on...
Wow.
So he gives you guys, he raises his glass to you guys and says, well, pleasure to meet you. I will let you know if I hear of Hermit. I gotta get back to the office and just check on things and make sure everything's running, and just got back from my travels, so I have stuff I want to do. But really, pleasure to meet you all. And tell you what, for the 6 of you, drinks around the house all night. So, that he bids
Thanks,
you.
Red.
He bids you good evening, and he goes back behind the bar, then through a door behind the bar. And
Let us know if you learn anything.
Nicoya's gonna just give him a stink eye as he walks away.
He does not seem affected.
Kellen's gonna go piss.
All right, guys, let's burn the bar down.
Hey, free drinks, shots.
As Kellen's leaving, you hear, now you drink!
Can we scan the room to see if we see Hermit by any chance?
You may.
Can Kelwin?
Do you have to roll
Kelwin may with disadvantage.
insight? Is that perception?
No, this would be perception or investigation.
I guess I'll
Well,
scan
I'll do
the men's
investigation.
room for Hermit.
A 10.
Kelwin, roll investigation for men's room with disadvantage.
3. I got a 20
3.
at first.
You-
but now
You
it's a
find
3.
a hole.
You go to the women's room.
Where's Helmet?
But it's not that big. It's not that big a deal. It happens all the time. Doesn't matter what you guys roll. There's no sign of Hermit here.
I come back out and find Ula. You said you had cards or something?
I do.
Have you ever played Eldritch Dwarven Snake Slap before?
I haven't heard of it, but I do catch on quick.
Let me teach you. It's
Let's do
good
this.
fun. We used to play it in the army all the time.
There are no tables available, but you do find just like a kind of like barrel that serves as a tabletop in the corner, so you guys could play on that.
Sure.
This will do.
This is a little tall. Can we
Uh,
hang on? Can I find like the closest table of what Kelwin thinks might be people who are like kind of like, oh wow, you're the famous dude, the bar tonight. With however,
Roll an insight check with disadvantage.
yeah. Five.
5. You walk up to a random table of people,
Hey, I'm trying to teach.
mostly elves.
I'm trying to teach my friend how to play Eldritch Dwarven Snake Slap, and the barrel over there is too tall. I did the chalice thing, so would you mind giving me the table?
Couple of the guys are just chuckling. One looks uncomfortable.
I'll
another
teach
guy-
you too.
Another guy looks like, I love that game. Deal me in.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And he tells a couple of his people to slide down, and they make room for you two.
All right, and I go into a very probably totally incoherent, drunken explanation of the rules that are really intricate about, like, if there's a double, you don't slap, but if you draw cards, and if they alternate, then you do slap, and the goal is to slap the other person's hand as hard as you can, and if you make them, like, grunt with pain, you win the round, but if you grunt, then whatever the opposite of what I said was, and then...
The elves sitting at the table are just at the odd sight of this situation, enthralled with the rules and what you're saying.
Have you guys ever played the actual real-life game of Ancient Egyptian Rat Screw?
No.
That's what I was going for, which is, it's kind
Okay.
of like a war, but with way too many rules and slapping involved.
Okay. So you guys start to play.
That's fine.
And so you guys sit down and start to play cards. So Ula and Kelwin start to play cards with this other elf, and the rest of you are just kind of, you can either stand and watch or go other do your other things or whatevs.
Oh, I'm watching this.
Okay, you're all watching. Well, the card game goes pretty well. And yeah, so let me see where to go from here.
I want to find Winter.
I'm going to say
after cards happen.
just for the heck of it, Kelwin and Ula, roll a d20, please.
I'm gonna ask if I won.
All right, do I have disadvantage on that?
You do.
Okay, 9.
17 total.
Okay. The elf that you're playing with, not knowing how the game is played, I'll just say Ula you guys all put your cards down, and he kind of looks and smiles and puts his cards down and says, well, that was a fun round. Shall we play for money now? He rolled a 20. So.
Weren't you supposed to slap one of us?
If he's supposed to do that, he does that.
Okay.
Fortunately, Kelwin, you feel nothing.
Yeah. No, I'm not playing this for money. I feel like it's only a way to make enemies out of good friends, and also I can't read the cards right now, so.
The elf laughs and looks at Ula and says, well, that's probably why he did so poorly.
He did get that chalice, though.
He did. Very impressed. I'm glad I was here to see it. So you guys spend the rest of the evening drinking.
At one point, Kelwin gives Winter really uncomfortable relationship advice.
Okay. Such as?
Eventually, I know, look, you're a really good guy, Winter. You've learned a lot, and girls would be stupid to pass that up. You really got some sharp eyes and tight dimples, and like sometimes you can be cute, I guess, and girls are stupid to not. You'll find someone eventually, and it's okay if not all of them butter bread or something. You'll find one.
Lucky's next to Valmaya at the bar, and I'm like, are you watching this?
And sometimes the bread might not be okay, and that's totally fine. And sometimes bread is toast, and not everyone likes toast. Sometimes you really wanted bread, and then it turned into toast. And you just have to let it be toast and a little too crunchy for your taste.
This is fantastic advice.
Nicole is going to hear all this and just hand Kellen a cup of water.
This man needs some toast. Get
Buttered toast.
Carbs.
In the heat of the moment, sometimes bread becomes toast.
Kellen, I really don't know what to say.
I know, you're young, naive. It doesn't all make sense, but eventually.
It's just
I
drunk
think-
Brian.
This sounds suspiciously similar to a night out at Amigos that we had.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing actually.
Best day ever.
Okay, so you guys have drank and played cards and made friends at Roostvale's surprise. You have not been able to find any sign of Hermit.
Didn't
A
even
couple
try.
of you have asked around. No one seems to have seen him in, like Red said, 6 or 7 months. So your investigations at Roostvale's have come to an end for the night at least. And you can, at this point, rounds, talking, card game. It's getting pretty late.
Don't we
Definitely
need to
after midnight.
go find Elise at the dunk bed, the drunk bunk, the dusk?
Maybe
do
we
that
should wait till
tomorrow.
tomorrow for
that could be the next stop. It is
Well, and I
midnight,
kinda
but
think we
by
need
big
you
city bartending, by
all
big city
there.
bar nightlife standards, it's not that late. But Duskbed Inn is an inn, not necessarily a tavern. So
We gotta go to Duskbed Inn.
Kellen, I think
Let's
we should do
go.
it tomorrow.
We have to.
You're drunk as hell.
We gotta go.
You'll be thankful tomorrow if we wait.
No, we need answers, Lucky.
Hey, all right, let's do it.
I'm glad someone
All right.
is.
Nicoya just get a sigh and go, oh my god.
That's right,
Walk
soldier.
with them.
who has
Lucky,
been
Lucky takes another shot at the bar and says, "This is a great plan."
who has been taking advantage of the free drinks?
I've had like 3.
Lucky,
Nicoya's been very,
Winter.
very light on drinking.
Okay, so obviously Kelwin.
Someone tried to give me water
Lucky and
once.
Winter, please each roll a Constitution saving throw. Winter,
16.
16. All right, you're both holding your alcohol pretty well. You are not officially drunk. You guys are feeling it. You're pretty buzzed.
So we've got 3 mostly sober people, 2 buzzed people, and then Kelwin.
Kellen.
They're at that buzzed point where like everything seems to like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Let's go.
but
Yeah, we
but
should
not
go.
so far. They're at the confidence stage, but not the confidence with inebriation stage.
Not the stage where they
so
think
you guys
going to
will exit the
interrogate someone
bar.
at the inn at like 1 a.m. seems like a good idea.
You guys will exit the bar. You notice that the one lantern is still lit outside the Duskbed Inn. There does seem to be light on inside, and we are going to call it there, and we'll pick up with you guys going to the Duskbed Inn next week.
Nice.
So
All right.
Nicoya's camera just froze on just a face I see a lot.
All right, so we'll call it there. Thank you for watching, viewer, and we will pick up. We're actually going to be a couple of weeks off because one of us will be out of town next week. So
Oh yeah.
we'll be back in 2 weeks. Hope you enjoyed
Things
tonight.
might get spotty for the next few weeks of stuff, just from
True.
people moving.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
general
It is a
life
gaming group.
things.
Life gets in the way of gaming. But we'll keep the episodes coming as much as we can.
Mhm.
In the meantime, you can go ahead and check out past episodes of our Brunch Club campaign podcast, also available on YouTube, audio only. fictionalized serial of our first adventure arc from our first campaign, Tales of the Brunch Club. So while you're waiting for us to get our act together, go ahead and give those a listen at rescuedbydragons.com. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye,
We'll
viewer.
see you soon, viewer.